Hello and welcome to Avoncroft Museum. Now this is no ordinary museum, this is quite a special museum, and we've got a special event going on today. Andy?
Multi-period reenactment event.
Yeah, so this could take a couple of videos possibly. This is quite a long one because we've got how many people here?
There's a lot of groups, probably 30 in
30 or
total.
40, yeah, 30 40 groups here, varying from
Stone Age right the way through to the Second World War.
yeah, so we should have a lot to see, a lot of activities to see, a lot of things to buy, as well as there's a market here, isn't there, with selling medieval markets. So stay with us and we'll see what we can find. Today's episode goes from Stone Age right through to Tudor. The special thing about Avoncroft is the buildings. The buildings here have been taken down where they originally were because they were going to be demolished, weren't they? And bought here and rebuilt stone by stone.
Brick by brick.
Bit by brick. So you've got a mixture of dates and ages, haven't you?
From the 14th century right the way through to the late 20th century.
Yeah. So it is quite amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the cottages are beautiful.
Yeah, so I have lots of things here from daily life in the Stone Age. I have some amber beads, all based on. I've got some charcoal there, very important resource. So they would take hot coals from the last fire that they had and take it on to the next place.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm assuming a lot of the clothes were all animal skins,
Yeah,
furs.
hides are hide shaped, and to make them people shaped, you need to sew them together with guts.
Yeah.
So everything that I'm wearing, I made.
Yeah, something.
I'm Magnus, I'm the leather worker of the group. Of Freya with her two cats that I'm tooling at the moment.
Oh wow, so you do leather tooling?
I do leather work, so I make everything from shoes, belts, belt pouches, knife sheaths, scabbards, bags. I quite like doing the belt pouches, I quite like doing the tooling. That one there is a direct copy from one that was found in Burka. Obviously none of the leather survived, but all the metalwork was in situ, so we got the shape and the rough dimensions of the pouch, and I'll try and sort of copy that one now roughly.
So do you stick to particular eras?
I try and do sort of 9th century depictions of all the finds, so it's a bit more authentic, like the needle case there and the Burka wallet that I haven't finished yet. It takes forever. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff I try and do is from Burka because that's my sort of persona.
So how long will it take you to complete?
So far I've been doing this for about a week.
Right.
Sort of dawn till dusk type things.
So it takes a long time?
Yeah, I mean, you draw it in with that and then you go round with just sort of those three tools because they've got slightly different angles on. They create different angles because you don't actually remove any leather. They call it leather carving, but you don't actually remove any material. It's like the opposite of embossing.
Right.
So if you feel the bear, you can feel
It
it.
is impression, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, so yeah, you're embossing.
Yeah.
That's fabulous, thank you.
No worries at all.
So obviously we're milling. Yeah, so we've got lots of different seeds.
Yeah, a variety of different grains that we'd have had access to. I'm working on yellowed and dried peas today, which will take a very long time because my quern is not heavy enough to do it. But we're getting there slowly. There is flour, really. We've also got this rye, which would have been readily available to Vikings when they were living in Scandinavian countries because it grows in very difficult environments. It survives cold weather.
Right.
But it's a bit unpleasant when you make it into bread. It's a very tough, hard bread. It's not particularly nice. This is spelt, which looks very similar, but was a really big pull factor for Vikings migrating to the British Isles because we've got a lot more arable land, slightly tamer environments, it's cold in the winter, so you can grow this much nicer grain, makes much lighter, fluffier bread, and the import of the spelt and the bread back into the Scandinavian countries was a really big pull factor for people wanting to come and make a better life for themselves once you had some migration from the Vikings coming over. A few other examples of grain. We've got buckwheat there, we've got barley, and these are field peas.
Right.
All things that would have gone into a quern. This is what I'm working with here.
So how long would it actually take you then to...
Me personally, to do this all day.
All day.
Yeah. I've got some example flour that I did earlier, which is, I think this is from spelt.
Right.
And if I put spelt into this, it would grind up, and in a matter of 15 minutes I'd have no spelt left.
Right.
It's very efficient,
Yes.
but peas not so much.
No.
But yeah, querns, two big bits of stone. Historically they often would have used granite.
Yes.
We're cheating a little bit and using a bit of Indian sandstone, but for the most part they'd have used granite, readily available in the area. We've got these crenellations cut into them, so that when it's turned clockwise, you'll get grain filtering from the middle, and it's pushed down by gravity, and it'll get pushed along these lines until there's too much force, and then it'll crack over these lines, fall away from one, and the grain moves along in a sort of square pattern, like that, until it falls outside.
Yeah. So can I ask, so you obviously create things out of bone?
Yes,
Antler.
my name's
antler.
Ulfa the bone carver.
Right.
Yes, I mainly focus on combs like these. A comb like this would take about 2.5 weeks to make.
Wow.
Made out of antler. You've got the coarse teeth on one side and the thin teeth on the other. Obviously the thin teeth are for getting the lodgers out of your hair and stuff, because lice was a real problem in the Viking age. So they like to look after themselves, bath once a week. In fact, Saturday's bath day, so I went down the pond and had a good dip this morning. So I'm all right for the week. You get things like this, which is personal grooming kit.
Right.
It has this is made out of antler. It's got a pair of tweezers, got a toothpick, and this little chappy here is for getting the wax out of your ears.
Nice.
And ears.
That's personal grooming for you, isn't it?
I haven't used it, so
How long have you been making these then?
about 2.5 years.
Right. Okay. So you're quite new, really, I suppose you would say.
Yeah. I did a course with a master bone carver up in Cumbria called Peter Merritt.
Right.
And he taught me everything I knew, and a lot of other stuff as well. But yeah.
Well, you're obviously natural.
Yeah. Well, I've got an jewellery background, engineering and jewellery background.
Oh right,
Yeah.
yes.
So
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 it wasn't too far.
yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So what have we got here?
Well, we're Viking and I'm a bone carver, so I've got stuff made out of bone, horn and antler from the Viking age. Here we have some dyed bone. They've been dyed in different things.
How do you dye them?
Well, you dye them, it's not the same as dyeing cloth. you need the colour to leach into the bone, and in most cases you have to use vinegar.
Right, yes.
So, for example, that is vinegar and brown onion skins.
Right.
Oh, sorry, no. That one's vinegar and brown onion skins. This one's vinegar and madder, which is a root with its natural tannins. This is copper verdigris.
So did you have to leave them to soak for?
Yeah, I use
how
jam
long?
jars,
Jam jars.
mixture, a couple of days.
Couple of days. Yeah.
48 hours. So this one was quite bright, but that was copper and garlic with vinegar. So it was a bit noxious. Yeah, it was a bit noxious when I opened it. Next time I'm opening it in the garden.
Yes.
But I don't think I've got it out. Pickled red cabbage worked quite well from Sainsbury's.
Would beetroot work and things like that?
Yeah, it probably would. It's the more water in the solution, though, means it's more colour fast.
Right.
So it fades. Now I haven't got it here. Actually, I think it's in my bag. I've recently dyed using older cones from the older tree.
Yeah.
And those have natural tannins as well.
Yeah.
And it's come out. I left it for a couple of weeks, and it's come out a lovely mahogany colour.
Right.
And I've also dyed using tansy, but only tansy and water, so it's going to fade. But next time I'm going to try tansy. So tansy is a very popular yellow cloth dye.
Yes.
So is madder. I mean, there's so much madder around here. Anything reddish is madder. But when it comes to dyeing beads, it was the poor person's glass bead.
Right.
But they also used to paint clay beads as well to look like glass beads.
Oh right. Yeah.
As well. So I'm definitely a low status person because I can't afford the glass plates. Yes. But I've got things like here bobbins and tablet weaving tools as well. And this is my knot binding needle to make circular knitting. So knot binding.
It's lovely.
And if you go around the store around the corner there, they've got lots more knot binding because it's circular knitting.
Yes.
So you could do mittens, socks, anything, hats, circular. But I've also got some musical instruments. So this is a sheep leg bone flute.
Nice.
So that's got quite a nice sound. I do have some other musical instruments, but I don't think I'll be able to blow them today. But these are just antler whistles.
Yeah, I can tell they
Oh, they're great. They're lovely. Oh, look. And what's your name, by the way?
Paula.
Paula. Thank you very much, Paul.
Stephen.
What?
I'm doing metalwork.
Metalwork.
I'm working in wire.
Right.
It is a Viking block, but it's not a key. To make little things like pins and needles. So I've just made that. I'm planning brooch. That's why it's nice and shiny.
Lovely.
So what you do is
And that will close.
somebody else's won't.
So if you imagine
And the
that.
lifter, the key, you go push up and it will actually then spring.
Gee, you don't even consider that, do you? I mean, when you look at things and you look at like
This is
sort
like
of Vikings
Anglo-Saxon
or
stuff,
Anglo-Saxon or
so
anything
that
like
would be my
that, you
really
don't
expensive, which goes
think
on my
about how to
box, yeah,
physically
chest I'm sitting on.
put things together.
So,
Somebody has to
I mean,
make
yeah,
them.
like any-
I unfortunately had to mute it here because the noise, it was just too much. You couldn't hear a word he was saying with everybody around. But what he was sort of explaining was how it fastened with the pin and what he'd made to go around the neck to close it, and also talking about not making it too sharp, or obviously you will stab yourself. But that's generally what he was talking about in this particular part.
That's just copper. That's right. That's just well, they worked in copper. They worked in bronze. They worked in silver. Metal's really expensive, so yeah, I should imagine.
Plastic,
So, but that's
put it in boiling water and squash it, it goes flat.
if you see.
And that's
Here's one of those.
plastic.
So you make your plate.
Yeah.
You drill a hole through the plate, and then you cold river it together. And then you can hang it.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Thank you.
What we've got here is I make stuff out of the everyday items. So
Right.
what we got is, you see I'm sewing a new tunic for today.
Yeah.
But you make your stuff out of your plates, either turned on a lathe, pole lathe,
Yeah.
or cut out with an adze. Do you have things made of wood? spoons made of tree branch, chop it down the middle, carve it out, get your spoons. Beeswax, best stuff in the world for sealing leather or taking care of all your woodwork. Use it today, get rid of whatever you're using, because it goes on leather and so it goes hard. That is now waterproof water flask.
Amazing.
So, and it's completely hygienic, clean, and as soon as it does crack, warm it back up again, it's wax, it seals. So, I mean, it has actually, I repaired that at the beginning of this season. It had a leak and it took me minutes to repair it. Get rid of that out of sight. Modern cotton bobbin. Arrow points, yes, you get metal arrow points, but you can also make them out of bone. If you hit a stone, if you miss or hit a stone, it can break and shatter. So, but it's perfectly good for the job. Needles for things like linen or wool, you would have had horn. So you can't carve them out of bone. So there's those. And yes, you would have had metalwork for if you want a bit of a bracelet or your brooch for holding your. I'm just not wearing my cloak today. It's going to get too warm, so I'm not putting the cloak on. But everyone would have used that. But yeah, just making stuff out of everyday items.
That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we're moving on now from the Viking era to medieval.
Around. Tap this way. If it's a bit too close for me, comes in. Now I can't get into his face. There's a lot of sword to get around. You grab the sword. Now these are sharp, but they're not razor sharp. It's not a kitchen knife. There's no point having it actually. It won't cut through this. Yeah. So you see this a lot in medieval bits. You see half-sworded, grabbing other people's sword. So it comes in, bang, just catch it, put it in there. Or, if it's a bit deeper, comes in, catch it, kick him in the knee. Or if it's a bit deeper, comes in, catch it, go and ball catch it. And he says, kick him in the cods. Literally says, kick him in the cods. So it's brutal, but it's got a finesse about it. Yeah. So it's definitely there for fighting. If I can go further, I can do disarms. Big old, sorry, comes in, bang. Now I'm going to react. I've got this end of the sword, it's quite long. This is called a hand and a half. Usually two-handed or one-handed. But it lets me do things like dip in and come in and take him down. Or disarm his sword in silence. Careful back there. Bang. Come in, wrap, take his sword off him, back in. If we both step in, I'm attacking, he comes in with me, now we're really close. I can't use this end of the sword, but this end, smash straight into his face. So I'll go past him, but it's at this sort of speed, straight through. And that's the idea. I need to be quick and efficient. If it goes wrong, we just keep fighting. We're off fighting again. So you've got these combinations of things going on. And what he did was, what was clever about this Italian guy, just coming in, he got a trigger point. This crossing. When I've stepped in, I'm here. I've got this trigger point, I know a lot of things to do. So I don't think, I react. I haven't got time to think. Yeah? If something weird happens, come in horizontally. Yeah? But do it. I just keep fighting. We're fighting again. We're fighting around. It comes in at some point, I know what to do. Straight through his face. And that's what's clever. So I stop thinking, I just act and react all the time. That's very cool.
that's okay.
Right.
See you, well, not too much at Evesham,
Yeah.
you know, being on the wrong side.
So this is what, like say, buttered, but it's for kids to try on and everything.
Yes.
Bit of fun.
So what's your...
And then we got the flat riveted.
I'll probably just be wearing this.
There's a different type of mail just there.
I haven't got any colours for each.
We our colours are...
Sorry. I'm knocking everything over.
Are yellow and red.
Oh, okay.
The Earl of
So, is there a particular reason why you've got different?
Who was a very...
What, just to protect differently, or is there some?
But I'm at Chester Castle. With the Earl of Chester.
It's how it's been manufactured. That's a little bit more historically correct than flat riveted. It's a bit stronger, make it stronger.
Yes.
We're round. Again, like I say, it's just to make it stronger and everything. Especially because it makes it go a bit further.
Oh yeah, you're a judge as well. You're representing the Earl.
So who makes this?
Anyway, you take
we get it from India.
Thank you.
It's a big like armour manufacture that happens in India and at Sheffield. So
Right. So
no, Sheffield, Spain.
Spain. So, yeah. They're fabulous. So do you do some fighting and things?
We do our own events and everything
Yes.
because it's a big multi-period event here. We just do show and tell and talk to
So
kids.
which group are you part of?
Oh, we're part of the Swords of Mercia. We're a
Swords
group
of
that's
Mercia,
based up
right.
there at Chester.
Oh, we're here at Andy's favourite store.
Here we are.
Yeah, this is the mead store and wine. I think we might have to participate in a little of this.
We don't need to be made pretty. What we wear is
plates before us. They were producing smaller metal plates second hand to do with the furnaces they had.
At the time.
And obviously, as they got better, they could produce bigger bits of metal, and that's the same thing. But obviously, it's time.
Well, when you consider
and the
that
production of metal and how they could use it and produce it.
you've got to take all this with you.
They're basically an early armour.
So what date will it be?
Lasts about 13, 20 or something like that. So,
This is
and then obviously as the years went by, and the production of metal.
When you fight it,
Like the stuff from the Visby Grave.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
It's from Visby,
because originally
because this is the plates from Visby as well.
So everything is made for this is my I had this made for
If you look in the inside,
the only thing
that's what we get from Visby. None of the leather, obviously, but just the plates in that position.
the hilt handle and the plate.
This is the remains of a medieval hall house. Wow, just look how high this was. Wrexham, that's where it's bought from. Must have been something in its day. So is that what it would have looked like?
No, this is. It was inside another building. It's an earlier medieval building, and when they demolished it, they found that inside of it. But they saved it.
So another building was built on top of the medieval hall house.
Yeah, and when they demolished the original building, they saved this medieval truss
that was inside the house.
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't expecting this. This is marvellous. What have you got for dinner?
Cottage and fish cake.
Cottage and fish cake.
But tomorrow is Sunday, so we can push the boat out a bit tomorrow.
I know these steps are a little bit on the narrow side. Sleeping quarters. The cottage garden. No glass, but shutters. Wonderful clock frame again.
Hello.
Hello.
Is it time to eat yet?
I think it's nigh on dinner time,
I'm
mistress.
so hungry.
I think we've got pottage, I think it says in there.
It's a long time since I break my fast.
Yes, it is indeed.
So you ladies card all day? You're doing carding and washing
I'm
and
just
things?
making little bits of felt because I want to make lots and lots of leaves to cover our Jack of the Green at midsummer.
Right.
But you have to make it way ahead because it takes a long time to felt all the leaves for it.
So what's your Jack of the Green?
Well, normally we would have a wicker frame and we'd go and put foliage in it.
Right.
But this show we thought we'd actually get green cloth and drape it almost over a farthingale.
Yes.
And then sew lots of different coloured leaves on it. And then it will fold up. And then we can keep it.
Yes.
So that every midsummer it can come
Get out. Yes, that's good, isn't it?
And it's also a lot easier to transport.
Yes. So do you do this in lots of other places then?
Yes. We're doing that at Greyfriars in Worcester.
Right. So the straw floor, would that be all through the downstairs or just in a particular? I think it's dinner time.
It would be probably not where the fire is.
No, a bit risky.
You would have it downstairs because it's a mud floor and it's cold.
Yes, so
upstairs
insulates.
it's wooden, so that's better.
Yes. Just look at this barn.
And also, we're the planting that's on it.
Look at the crook frame. Wow. They're great. So what date is this then? Let's have a look at the plaque that says what date this is. Crook in the 16th century.
Crook barn, 16th century crook.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
It is. Just look at the thatch on it as well. It's got
threshing barn.
It's a lovely barn. Yeah.
We're halfway through here, so we thought we'd stop and have some lunch. But that's it for this first part of the video. Join us for the second part, where we'll be covering right up to 1950s essentially. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video, part 2.